This week in Destiny for August 22nd, 2024. Echoes recapping what to expect in Act 3 next week, including an artifact preview, new legendary weapons, and an exotic quest. Solstice is ending soon, and in case you missed an update from the Destiny 2 community teams on comms. Let's dive right in. So the first part is Echoes the story so far. With Act 3 starting on August 27th, they wanted to give a quick recap of everything we've experienced since the start of this first episode. They show a couple of cutscenes and explain some text about the story so far. I'm going to read this if you'd like to hear about it. If you are already caught up in the story, you could skip ahead if you'd like. Following the death of the Witness, an object called an Echo manifested within the Aurora and fell onto Nessus. Almost immediately, the Vanguard received an urgent distress call. A panicked failsafe was reporting a huge surge in hostile activity. Guardians were sent to Nessus to investigate, alongside Vex experts Osiris and Saint 14. Upon arrival, failsafe explained that a Vex signal emerged which was different and that the Vex were changing. Delving into Nessus, we began to investigate the changing landscape and Vex. As the investigation continued, Saint 14 was lured away by a command he could not resist and went missing. As we searched the Nessus caves, we approached Saint's location, where we could hear snippets of his conversation with an unheard second party. We eventually found Saint kneeling in his Ward of Dawn, confused and questioning the authenticity of his own existence, saying that he was not the real Saint. After breaking the confusion, he said a voice spoke to him, connecting to his mind and commanding him. It called itself the Conductor. Though freed from the Conductor's influence, the questions it posed still weigh on him. He began to question if he was simply a copy of an Exo he claims to be, and wondered if our world would be better off without him. Ikora reveals that Failsafe may be able to locate the Conductor, but she would need an extensive set of Vex data available only from the original Saint 14's mind, which lay in the Infinite Forest. Unable to visit the Infinite Forest, we delved into the core of Nessus, where an archival version of his tomb exists. At the tomb, Saint 14 reobtained the memories of the original Saint and was emboldened by his experience. With this new data now available, Failsafe located the proper coordinates and created a portal, and entering through that portal we came face to face with the Conductor for the first time. We learned that the Conductor is Maya Sundaresh, and that she used the Echo of Command to take control of a cohort of Vex while attempting to awaken the planet of Nessus itself. Her plan: spread her radiolaria throughout the system and bring about a new golden age. She tried to control Saint 14 again, forcing him to his knees, but this time he resisted. The team was quickly transported, escaping the encounter, now left to consider this new revelation and plan next steps. So that is a good summary there by the Bungie team getting you ready for next week's story. As I've mentioned before, with these 3-week breaks in between the content and waiting week after week, the situation doesn't really seem that dire. I'm sure if we experience all of this back to back, if we wanted to, maybe some people might be more interested in the story. Guess we'll see how that goes next episode when they release the full acts at the same time. This is the last week for Solstice if you are participating in the event. Make sure to grab your fire team and make the most of the time remaining. Here's a few reminders of what you might want to put on your checklist for the final week. If you haven't got a full set of armor yet, you can grab those Solstice Forge bounties and complete your set. If you're looking to farm other Solstice weapons, now is your last chance to jump into Bonfire Bash and get the God Rolls. With recent changes in the final shape, you can now hold up to 3 mementos at a time, so if you can't decide which weapons you want to use your mementos on, make sure to grab as many as you can hold before the Solstice keepsake goes away for the year. And lastly, finish all your Solstice triumphs if you're going for that title. Let's next take a look at Act 3 new artifact perks. Bungie says it's time to shake up those well-crafted builds with some new artifact perks coming with Act 3. This new row of artifact perks focuses on auto rifles. These perks not only give another option for dealing with overload champions, but you also have options for improving damage resistance and weapon damage. Also, in the final column, they have a perk to help to make your arc builds even more destructive. So column 1 is Overload Auto Rifle, as always allowing you to stun combatants, delaying ability energy regeneration and lowering combatant damage output. Auto rifles are always overcharged when this modifier is active. In the second column, you have Authorized Mod Charged Up. The energy cost of the Charge Up mod is significantly discounted. In column 3, Sustained Fire. Continuously damaging combatants with auto rifles grants you damage resistance. Column 4, Targeting Autoloader. While you have an auto rifle equipped, defeating combatants reloads your equipped weapon and temporarily increases weapon damage. And lastly, in column 5, Shock and Awe. When you have an Arc or Prismatic subclass equipped, Arc Final Blows while you are amplified summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts targets. Echoes has brought several powerful new weapons that have become a mainstay in many loadouts. Act 3 will introduce 3 brand new weapons you can add to your arsenal. Speleologist and Chronophage rounding out the set of Vex Mythoclast inspired seasonal weapons, and the reprised beloved Martyr's Retribution. The Speleologist is a rapid-fire solar machine gun. Here's what can drop in the 3rd and 4th columns. Chronophage is an adaptive void trace rifle. And Martyr's Retribution is a solar waveframe grenade launcher. Exotic class item attunement is coming soon in episode 2. This is just a development image, but attuning to a perk will increase the chance for the exotic class item to drop with that selected perk, kind of like how you attune for the weapons in Into the Light, which you can now do at Zavala. In case you missed it, you can also be banned for now using AFK macros to farm specific things in-game. And while it isn't specifically mentioned here, we do know we'll be getting a new exotic mission in Act 3. Here's what Bungie had to say in a previous article. It is one of the biggest exotic missions we've ever built, and it's only possible because of this new content cadence. The ability for us to build this massive exotic mission, literally one of the biggest, it wouldn't have been possible in the past. This is where we see the development team taking the opportunity, their willingness to change, their willingness to adapt to this new cadence with us, and really seize the opportunity to expand Nessus, expand this world. Because a lot of us with Destiny, we think of it as a living world, right? A world that is expanding and changing throughout time. And we would not have been able to expand Nessus in this way without the episode. But Guardians, that's all we got for this week's This Week in Destiny. Act 3 releases next week, and if you'd like to stay up to date on what's releasing within it, the content, and also the story, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.